is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is time for Mick Shots minus the Mick on the day after the season opener, the kickoff to the NFL season in Tampa, Florida. Everson, some of us made it back in time for the show.
We
but
sure did.
The headline act did not make it back for some reason. I don't know. Mickey had told me earlier in the week that, he was on that 7:30 flight just like I was. And then I get to the airport. There's no Mickey. And now here I get to the Star in Frisco, and there's no Mickey. What is going on with Mickey?
It can't be by choice. No one wants to stay in Florida overnight if they don't have to. So, this is definitely something necessary. But that's all right. We got his back. There's no problem.
Well, maybe he got back to his hotel room like I did at 2 o'clock in the morning and realized, this 5 o'clock wake-up call for this flight, maybe I need to adjust my schedule.
You guys had to be geeked, man. Y'all had to be geeked. Could you sleep, after a game like that?
Well, after the post-game stuff, the process after the game, waiting on the press conferences, and then
it winds you down. It helps wind you down
that's
a little
right.
bit. Yeah.
And then the fact that I have to wake up in 3 hours, that'll wind you down too. But Mickey apparently is en route. He is flying here now. If it was anything like my flight, he is already now. Supposedly, I think his flight is supposed to land at 1:50 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So he should be joining us here shortly. If it's anything like my flight this morning, his plane has already landed at DFW Airport, and they're waiting for a gate to open for the next.
We got good news and bad news from the captain. We made it here early, but no one was ready for us. So we'll be sitting on the runway.
Yeah.
I told you Spag's going to be in the bathroom like Die Hard, reporting from the lavatory, on the plane, trying to find out what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we'll hear from him soon.
Okay. So in the meantime, Everson, the floor is yours. I can't wait to hear what your take is on what happened last night in Tampa. And I think that at the conclusion of it, here's the way I looked at it. Okay, one game down, we got a 16-game regular season still to be played here. And so that was the preseason last night.
Boy, that was a good preseason game.
It was.
That's the way to start it off.
Best preseason game I've ever
seen. Man, I was geeked last night. I was geeked this morning. I just loved the game itself. That was real football there. Mm-hmm. A lot of scores were put up, so it's not necessarily the traditional defensive struggle that you wanted, especially considering Tampa Bay had the number one defense in the league, and Cowboys came out and diced them up from really Series 1. I thought Dak showed his poise, because I'm thinking when the game started, there's no way he's going to be able to calm himself down. Mm-hmm. He hadn't played in 11 months, and he's coming out here. The hype has been going on all off season, especially as we got close to the game. Just got crazy, crazy hype. Everybody questioning him with the shoulder. How's the leg going to look? I was nervous. I was probably more nervous than he was. But the Cowboys themselves had so much confidence in him. And, that's so refreshing that they have – first of all, they paid him,
Right.
And he had the confidence that he was going to get paid. All this time, everybody would say, it's too much money. Now he gets paid. He realizes the responsibility, which he always did. But now being able to come out and show against the best defense on the biggest stage, against probably the best quarterback in the history of the NFL, it was just refreshing and exciting to see the Cowboys show some type of not just competence, but competitiveness. From both sides of the ball.
It's interesting because I was there doing live shots for CBS 11 starting at, the game started Eastern time at 8 o'clock. And so we started at, we got out there about 4 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Dallas time. And Dak and Zeke were the first starters that were out on the field. The inactives came out and worked out for a little bit first, and then the first starters out there were Tyron and Lyle. They were stretching, whatever, and then Dak and Zeke were out there and
doing the little yoga routine.
Right.
I saw the little yoga,
Dak and the karaoke and
I like
all
that stuff, man. That's good stuff.
And it's a process that Dak does. We watch it at training camp every day. I want to say it's probably pretty much a 20-minute workout that he does. He did
a bridge pose. I do that in yoga. He did a bridge pose. I didn't know he was doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good for the core.
But beyond that, I mean, he works up a really good, especially in Tampa. I was working up a good sweat.
And he was fully clothed, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
he had the long sleeves sweats. Yeah.
Right, sweats on. And but to your point, being so hyped, I think I don't know if I can compare it with what his normal pregame routine is. I can compare it to what I was seeing on the other end of the field, which was no Tampa Bay players out on the field. Maybe they had some other place to work out. But this was literally 2 hours before the game, and he's out there. And I want to say he's just getting used to the elements. He's getting used to the field. He's getting and also I think it probably calms him down, and it just makes it, especially his first game back in 11 months, it got him acclimated to the situation.
No, he did a great job, and we'll get into all of this later, but I just like the way the entire team responded, because you're talking about being out there early. Could you hear yourself talk?
Oh,
pre-game.
Pre-game you could.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that there was an early arriving crowd, and so
I heard on the radio it was just loud.
So pregame, when the traditional pregame started, which is a little less than an hour before kickoff, it was 7:20 kickoff, and so teams came out around just after 6:20, and there were already. I want to say the stands probably were pretty close to being half full, because everybody wanted to get there early because they were having their Super Bowl ceremony, which was unusual that you would have that, because they weren't able to really celebrate before, outside. Of course, they had their parade and everything, but this was the first time. I'd forgotten what the attendance was at the Super Bowl, and it was 24,000. And so it was 1/3 the crowd at the Super Bowl. And, of course, they aren't Tampa Bay fans. It was their home stadium. There's so many corporate tickets that are sold at a Super Bowl.
Right.
And so this was their opportunity to celebrate, and they were made sure that they were going to be in their seat at least a half hour before.
And be heard.
Yeah,
and
that's
be
right.
heard.
That's right.
I know I could hear Brad and Babe trying to talk over the crowd, and I remember Babe was trying to make a point, and in the middle of his point he goes, "Man, it is loud in here." They couldn't even hear themselves talk.
There was one other time that I think the Cowboys would have been in that same environment, and it was actually a preseason game after Seattle. This was back in 2004, 2005 when Seattle went to the Super Bowl, and it was their first preseason game, and that stadium is so loud to begin with.
Always loud.
Just the way it's built, it contains the noise in there.
They engineered that on purpose.
Exactly. And we were just doing our pregame hits before doing the preseason game, and Babe's here. We're literally a foot apart, and I couldn't hear what he was saying. It was so loud.
That was truly you couldn't hear. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And sort of kind of the same environment last night. But what a great game. And who would have thought that Dak would wind up in a game? You might have predicted 58 pass attempts for Dak if they were getting blown out. If it was like one of those first 5 games that he played in last year, or the first 4 at least that he played in last year, where the Cowboys were falling behind
400 yards.
But I'm saying if they had fallen behind by 21 points like they made a habit of doing last year, now you're going to throw it 58 times. But this was in a nip and tuck game, and you're throwing it 58 times.
Yeah, and we'll get to it later, but it's almost as if, I guess around the second quarter, it's like, hey, man, forget this. We're just going to duel. It's just going to be a duel. It's going to be two straight shooters, facing each other at sundown or whatever, high noon. That was a high noon shootout. That's what that was. And it's almost as if Kellen Moore and of course Brady himself, they just decided to hell with the run game. We've got to make it happen the way we can. And let's be real, the Cowboys kind of forced Brady into passing the ball. We were not going to give up a bunch of running yards in this game, no matter what. I want to ask you a question. Did I see 6 defensive linemen in the game at some point?
For the Cowboys?
Yes.
Well, it's interesting what the way Dan Quinn, and we're going to be studying it further,
yes.
but it's interesting the way he's using personnel, and it may have. I love the way in this league you're looking at more and more hybrid type players, whether it's hybrid playing at defensive end, rushing from inside, or a linebacker coming up, and so forth. It's more of a hybrid defense than he traditionally has been a 4-3 guy, and he has talked about it that. He is you're going to see more, not what you saw last year, but the same type ideas of last year in terms of a hybrid between a 4-3 and 3-4. And so there will be times where you might see it.
And I guess, with Parsons being a football player,
right,
he could be part of that defensive line if he chooses to.
The other part of it is it's hard to figure it out with the number changes, too.
Yeah, Brady made himself known about that, yeah. But, I saw where we were definitely stacking the line with bigs. And there was a few times Brady came up, maybe he changed a lot of plays.
Yes, he did.
He's always coming up, looking around, and that's he and Dak were kind of doing the same thing. They were noticing certain things, and you got to wonder how many times he changed from a running play to a passing play. Because we really left him no choice. And he's like, okay, I can feast any way you want me to feast, and even though he did have some good numbers, the Cowboys. Secondary and defense, they had all eyes on the ball. I loved it. They were very aggressive and focused, and gave up yards, to Brady, of course, and Gronk and all these great receivers. But I got to say, man, when you're walking away with 4 turnovers in the game, you got to be happy with how your defense
when
played.
You're +3 in turnovers.
That's right.
Yeah, you're thinking unless you're going up against the greatest quarterback.
Well, you're going to win the game.
Yeah. All right.
Trust me, I've been there with Joe Montana. So go ahead.
Well, all right. Think about this. When you're talking about Brady changing the play so much, I think that's a credit to what Dan Quinn was doing defensively.
Of course.
And think about this. Now, Quinn, obviously, he was let go early last year with Atlanta. However, there are a couple of members of this coaching staff who were on the Falcons' defensive coaching staff last year, Adden Dirty, as well as Joe Witt, the secondary coach.
Dak torched them.
Well, think about this, though. Atlanta did not play Tampa Bay last year until 2 of the last 3 games of the season, of the regular season, weeks 15 and 17.
Okay.
So that is when Tampa Bay was in their stretch of winning 8 in a row to win the Super Bowl. Week 15, the Falcons had the Bucs down 17-0 at halftime in that game. So they were doing something defensively. My point
sounds like the Super Bowl.
My point is, we have known since the schedule came out that the first game is against Tampa Bay. 2 members of this coaching staff intimately familiar with what Tampa Bay was doing from 2 times playing against him in the last 3 weeks of the season last year. And Dan Quinn was studying him like crazy throughout the last 5 months or however long it's been. And so they were breaking out all the stops. But Tampa Bay was doing the same thing.
Same thing.
The
exact same thing. The mental fight that was going on the field and off the field, I just thought was extremely intriguing.
And that's the beauty of these openers is they've had so much time to prepare because you want to get off to a good start each season.
And let's say, regardless of who you're going to prepare against for the upcoming games, if you're the Cowboys offense, well, really the entire team, you have to feel pretty good about if you can do this against the Super Bowl champions in all facets of the game, even the running game. Zeke just got 33 yards, but to me, he earned every down. Believe it or not, he had some yards after contact that showed what kind of shape he's in. It shows an improvement from last year. He never was close to dropping the ball. at all in the game. You could see he was intense, but yet playing within himself. Sacrificed himself on many blitzes to where he just threw himself on the sword. I saw maturity from players and from a team that is totally different from what I saw last year.
Right. And a lot of times it was Dak putting Zeke in position. I mean, what Dak did, and Brady's the king of being able to set protections and so forth. No. And Dak is really good at it too.
Oh yeah.
And
they were both
motioning to Zeke. All right, here you go. And Zeke has always been good at pass protection.
They're getting out the huddle early, right? Just the things that you saw. They out of the huddle early. When Dak's making his changes, you still got 16 seconds left on the play clock, and that's what you need to where you're poised. Everyone's on the same page, except for the false start where Biotis didn't snap the ball. I don't think the crowd
false start on the entire
the entire line, but really just him. Yeah. So those kind of things didn't bother the Cowboys at all. That was the only time I saw where that crowd, as loud as it was, they had no effect on us as a team overall.
And this was different than a lot of first games against defending Super Bowl champions in that this is a Super Bowl champion that literally is bringing everybody back from last year.
Yes.
And it played so well down the stretch last year. And for the first time, as a collective group, just like all the teams, had a full off season to be able to work and so forth. And what we're going to see going forward, and we saw it plenty of it, especially in the first half. Antonio Brown, that's a totally different element to their offense.
Well,
we
touched
the first
on it,
12 games
but
of the year
didn't touch on it enough before the game because
that's right.
He was prominent in this game.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And you could see it coming. All you had to do is see what he did down the stretch last year, and his mind is right. But I think you credit the Cowboys. You walk away with a bad taste in your mouth because you didn't win the game, but you feel pretty good about things going forward. And as for Cowboys fans or anyone who is doubting this team coming in, I think it was sort of a confirmation for the players because they knew they've got a good team.
They knew.
Yeah. But we haven't been able to see that because we didn't see that they didn't play in the preseason.
Yeah, we were nervous that we may not see it because we figured we would and didn't want our hopes dashed too much. But all expectations were met, especially offensively. The culture I talk about. Dan Quinn's defense has never been a shutdown defense, but it's always been an active defense. And when he first came here, I remember saying that about him. They never had a bunch of talent on their Falcons team, but they had guys flying around making plays when it was, when it was good for them, especially living off of a great offense that had Ryan and Julio Jones and these guys that they have. So I'm just liking the activity. I'm liking the turnovers. But, of course, when it comes down to it, I still want to see better coverage in the secondary. We knew it was going to be the weakness. I mean, I knew that we would overcompensate with the run, which is what we did. There was no factor at all in regards to their running game. And you knew Brady was going to open it up. You knew you were going to have problems with these three wide receivers. And I was a bit surprised. Mike Evans.
Yep.
I was disappointed in him.
Well,
he seemed to be not engaged at all in this ball game, and I'm wondering if it was Trayvon that was really giving him some hassles. The active zone that we had, 2 passes really could have been just with a little bit extra effort, maybe with a little bit bad throw. Could have had 2 more interceptions underneath. Jordan Lewis, as much as I keep wanting to discount this guy, came up and made really some key plays. I mean, he had some issues just by his size alone.
Right.
I don't know how he does it. He looks like he's Spagnola out there running around. But this guy is still active, and that when you're that small and you have a good team around you, it's easy to blend in with that same activity. And he always did have activity, but he just needed help. The way we approached the ball player, the way that we left no way out when we with good tackling. We didn't see small plays turning into big, goofy plays that made us look so incompetent. You saw none of that. You saw guys getting beat. Now, it's football. You're going to get beat. But you didn't see a lack of continuity from an entire defense. That's the kind of culture I want around here. You know, the flex defense, come on. We were back in the secondary giving it up back in the 80s, but we were getting ours. We were giving it up because it's just the way it is, but we were getting ours. You have to get yours, Bill. I always talk about that. You got to get your turnovers when it's time, and those weren't accidental turnovers. Yep. Those were turnovers because guys had their eyes on the ball, and they were aggressive.
All right, and let's get into more of that when we come back here on Mick Shots. We might be hearing from Mickey himself.
We're not going to
if he ever
Mickey.
gets off his plane on the way back from Tampa. Mick Shots continues in a moment.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
Check out the new Miller Lighthouse located outside of AT&T Stadium, where Dallas Cowboys game day traditions are born. Enjoy yard games, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders performances, beer gardens, and more. For more information, visit attstadium.com/Miller Lighthouse. Miller Lighthouse, your tailgate just got jealous. You like those shots that they showed of the Miller Lighthouse last night?
I did.
They looked like it was a fun place to be to watch the game.
Oh, man, I tell you what, it was a good game, so it didn't matter where you were. It was going to be fun to watch.
It was great weather here.
Fan.
It was great weather here, right, yesterday?
No humidity.
Yeah.
Beautiful night.
Yes. And it felt that way when I got here this morning. I got off the plane. I went, whoa, did I get...
You just came from a hotbed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was like, sure, I looked up. Sure this is DFW? Because it was not humid at all. So a great place. And, of course, the Cowboys at that Miller Lighthouse will be open for the next road game as well. Great place to watch when the Cowboys take on the Chargers. The next game a week from Sunday. Chargers, by the way, play the Washington football team to kick off the season this
I can't wait to
Sunday.
see how the Washington football team plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's saying that's our main competition for the NFC East. I have to see how well this defense. I'm sure it's still going to play. They're still going to play well defensively, but what's the change with Fitzpatrick coming in? I'm going to be very curious to see what happens that game.
Okay, so big picture. Where are the Cowboys now, in your opinion, to what they were at this time yesterday, as far as the chances of having a postseason this year?
Well, you can definitely say they changed.
Now, you had them as a division winner, though.
I still do.
Right?
Oh, I still do.
You had them going to the Super Bowl.
I had them going to the Super Bowl.
So, in your opinion, things haven't changed. They did exactly what you expected them to do.
I thought that they would lose the way they did. I actually thought it would be by 2 scores.
Yeah.
And we all kind of agreed that, the Cowboys would be in it at the end. And, of course, Brady would make a play down the field. And it was a lot closer than we thought. But still, the outcome was the same. You're not going to stop an experienced quarterback. That wasn't talent that won that game in a 2-minute stretch. That was just experience. That's all that was. Because if you looked at the Cowboys team last night, I knew they'd win the game. I still think we may go 0-2. That is a tougher sell in my own mind right now, but I'm going to stick with my guns. Still think we end up 0-2, but this team is ready to explode. They are. What you saw was a team that's learning a new system, okay, defensively. They went up against, one of the better quarterbacks and athletes in history, and they held their own. They gave up 300-plus yards, yes, but they held their own. So what they did was they kind of changed the narrative from everyone else that didn't believe. Even those doubters are thinking like, whoa, because, of course, they hold Brady in such high esteem. The fact that you perform like that against him, that gives everyone pause. And that's where we already were in this room. So I saw a Dallas team that was in shape. Did you see how Tampa's defense looked a bit fatigued? They looked tired. And the boys were bringing it to them offensively.
Right.
I love watching that. We looked like we were in much better shape then, and it looked like we were the ones in control down the stretch.
Are you thinking more in the front 7 or the back end as far as that goes?
I would say the front 7 because the linebackers for Tampa, they were blowing. They were blowing. They were having
critical.
a tough time.
those 2 linebackers, Levante David and Devin White, are critical to that defense.
And they have a lot of heart.
Great players.
They showed they were great players. Yeah. They played extremely fatigued, and they were still making plays. They were so happy to see a running play. That was their reprieve because when they were trying to cover the pass, the Cowboys had forced them to go into a zone a lot of the times because we were picking on the little cornerback over there. And so those linebackers had to work a little bit harder in that zone coverage, and you could see that they were taxed a little bit.
Yep. What sticks out more than let's talk about different. Let's talk about down the stretch. Okay, the 3rd and 11, Dak to CeeDee Lamb, 31 yards, just a huge play. I mean, and that's coming through in the clutch.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're down there at the
3rd and 11.
3rd and 11, in the final 2 minutes.
No way you're going to make that.
And you're down now into quote-unquote field goal range at the 34-yard line. Mm-hmm. What about the approach once they got to that point?
Well, it never changed.
Now, the Tampa Bay uses their timeouts, okay?
And what I liked about it was we still realized that Zeke could be used at that point. I believe we threw some running games in, some running plays in,
and we needed to.
At that point. I like that. I like those calls down the stretch because that softened things up in the middle, and it gave Dak even more room behind those linebackers in the zone that they were playing. That's why he was able to still move the ball down the field.
See, the overall game plan. Normally, you wouldn't like throwing 58 passes in a close game like that. But against this defense, and who can quarrel with the production that they have? But having said that, when you get down to that situation where you're down inside 2 minutes and, okay, they're going to use their timeouts, you have to get a first down. At that point, and there's other situations where if you have a lead in your 4-minute offense, you have to be able to run between the tackles and get first downs.
Good luck.
And that's where the Cowboys could not get that first down.
Yeah.
That extended to where you then are taking the clock down to nothing and kicking the field goal.
I am not surprised about that. I mean, Tampa's a smart team. They're thinking just like us. I mean, they're already ahead of us. We're thinking about this post game. They already thought about it pregame. They knew that the Cowboys were going to eventually have to try and change it up, and they were always ready for the run. The linebackers sniffed it out so quickly for Tampa that it was amazing that we sometimes got out of our own backfield. So you've really stuck with what's been working for you, Bill. You really don't want to try and change it right now. What we're doing is we're having long handoffs down the field. That's all they are.
Right.
We're going 4 and 6 yards, little dinkers here, dinkers there, and that's why the production was so good as far as percentage was concerned.
Which is Brady has made a Hall of Fame living doing that same stuff and being patient and then hitting the shots downfield.
They were mirrors of each other at quarterback.
Okay, I've heard some. So we're in that situation where it's get the holding call that sets them back. Now you're 3rd and 16 at the 40-yard line, complete to Cooper down to back to the 30-yard line. So now you're in position for Zuerlein's 48-yard field goal at 4th and 6 with a minute and a half left. Did you think about going for it there?
No. You just don't.
I
just don't.
I did not either. But knowing who's on that other sideline.
Yeah. You got to go with. You got to go with.
It's the Aaron Rodgers thing from last year,
and that's what they keep talking about.
Championship game.
That's what they keep talking about.
But it's still in that situation. 4th and 6 at the 30-yard line.
4th and 6, Bill. We're not talking about 4th and 2.
I know it.
Yeah.
In my mind, it didn't even occur to me that you would go for it in that situation.
There are times when you have to just go with the traditional train of thought. Right. You keep trying to get cute with it because of who you're playing against. Really, the adjustment they made based on who they were playing against was how they got away from the running game. And finally, Kellen Moore was like, "Look, we're gonna duel it out. Hey Zeke, just be ready, man. Dak will put you in position. We're gonna have you been our workhorse right now. You're gonna protect the quarterback, and we're just gonna duel it out with this guy." Because we don't have time against this defense to try and establish something this game. Forget the game plan. We're just going to go mano a mano. And basically that's what it was, because a defense like that will take you out of the game plan.
All right. Now we're talking mano a mano now. Now, okay, Tampa Bay's got the ball. And I think there's not a soul in that stadium who didn't realize that Tom Brady is going to matriculate down the field.
I felt like a genius because I told you this was going to happen.
Okay.
Right? We all said it in here.
However, all right, it's 25 seconds left, okay? It's 24 seconds left. 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Okay.
Right now, it's a 60-yard field goal.
Okay.
Back shoulder, Chris Godwin, Jordan Lewis defending. Was it a push-off?
That's a push-off. Come on. He didn't extend his forearm, but he certainly extended his entire body and shoulder and elbow to push him off. And the only thing he did was disguised it because he didn't extend his arm. But his entire body leaned on him, gave him the shoulder, basically. It's almost like a flip. He gave him a flip, and he went flying. He didn't just slip down. That wasn't a slip down fall. That was I wouldn't say catapulted, but I definitely had help in regards to how quickly I went backwards. It was easy. It was an easy call. That was an easy call. That's funny. You see, what was that, last year or 2 years ago? Jalen Ramsey got that call, and he flopped like he was playing European soccer or something. And you tell me we can't get that call? That was not a flop, and that was not a slip. They get the call. We got that call. They called that on us. Were we at home, or was that in SoFi? Was that in SoFi when Jalen Ramsey?
Right, it was SoFi.
Okay, so they got that call at home. Yeah.
Season opener last year.
So both
about season openers.
It was the home field advantage. That's what it was.
Right.
The referees gave him grace.
Imagine if the Cowboys get that call.
It's
now
over.
you set them back. It's 18 seconds left.
It's over. Unless Aaron Rodgers comes to town somewhere.
Tom Brady's on the other side.
Yeah, but he can't move like Rodgers because we're going to bring it, man. We are going to bring it to him.
But at that point, they just get set back to what would be their own 43, but they need to get to about the 35 for a 53-yard field goal. It's not like they...
It's doable.
Yeah,
it's
especially
doable.
with Brady. Now, so just from the standpoint of theater, okay? Give us some drama. Right. Come on.
It's almost as if the refs were like, it was a foregone conclusion for them as well.
That's right.
And so you can't get into that mindset as an official.
Made up their mind. Well, he's going to do it anyway.
He's going to do it, so why call this?
Yeah,
see, I don't like that.
Home field. I'm not going to be able to get out of the stadium. I'm not going to throw this
That's
flag.
when the narrative gets in the way of the real game, Bill. That's when the narrative gets in the way of the game. And I hate that because we start giving people the benefit of the doubt all the time. The referees are human too.
Imagine, though, if they made that call, and now let's see if Brady can get him in position for a field goal in the last 18 seconds.
I think that would have allowed us to win that ball game. I truly believe that. But like we said, we knew how it was going to end up, and when we had a feeling that the Cowboys would stay close. I never thought that the Cowboys would take the lead. I didn't see that coming. I thought we would be extremely competent in the game, but I didn't know we would handle that defense as well as we did. Dak threw for 400, but I thought it'd be an ugly 400. No, that was a masterful 400. It was just the way they planned it. And like I said, instead of trying to run the ball, we're just bringing the linebackers up and throwing it behind them. So we're getting 4, 6 yards, 8 yards. And when you talk about this core of receivers and tight ends, I mean, you had catches and then you had yards after the catch. That's what was impressing me. When CD finally was getting his stuff together, that was a huge play when I think he called a curl route and he turned quickly.
And that was the 31-yarder.
The defenders had no chance.
Right. You saw that explosion, the quickness to get to the
and
outside.
even Amari Cooper, just in those very just in more of a minuscule moment as we were marching, he gets the ball, immediately turns and goes upfield. There's no wait, let me see where I'm going. Immediately he broke 2 tackles and then getting up like 5 extra yards when he really should have gotten only about 6 yards. He ended up getting like maybe 11, 12 yards. All of those things. That is a team that is focused, okay? They are in tune with each other. Everyone knows exactly what's going on. You saw Zeke Elliott. Zeke knew it. By the time this game had gone into the second quarter, he's thinking, all right, I'm not getting 100 today, but I can do some other stuff.
Right.
And it was seamless. There was no bad body language. You know, it was only throwing his head in there. One time he got knocked backwards, and one of the linebackers came in. He threw his body in, got knocked backwards, and stayed on his feet and attacked again. By that time, the ball was gone. So just the effort from both sides, really. That's what made it an exciting game, the effort from both sides.
All right, we're going to examine some more standouts from who stood out in Everson's mind in the season opener, and we look ahead to the weekend as well. There are some great matchups around the league when Mix Shots continues in a moment.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to Mick Shots.
All right, I'm going to find this read.
Somebody needs to be more prepared.
Does your Cowboys fandom go beyond the game in the NFL Fan of the Year contest presented by Captain Morgan is back, and we're relaunching the search for one extraordinary Cowboys fan who is a positive influence and inspires others through their love of the game. Nominate yourself or others for the chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles to see the Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Nominate today at DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year. I think I just nominated myself for fan of the year.
You just did. That is a bold statement. I love it.
That's right. That was your Super Bowl matchup, wasn't it?
That's right, baby.
Okay.
That's
all right.
You know me and you on the same page, man.
So am I hearing that we've heard something from Mickey? That Mickey has
Mickey's
landed?
trying to call in. Yeah,
He's trying to?
He's on the phone.
He is on the line now? If we can have a Mick
Gentlemen.
shot. Hey.
Hey, what's up, Spags?
Mickey, did you oversleep? You said that you were going to be on my 7:30 flight out of Tampa this morning. What happened?
It's a long story. We don't have time for it.
Yeah, we only got 5 minutes, Spags, man. Come on. What's up?
Hey, okay, we need your take. We need, I wonder if Beam is ready for this. We need a parting Mick shot from Mickey.
There you go, baby. Is he ready? Oh, there it is.
So what do you know, Mickey?
Well, I kept hearing things about people talking about this was a moral victory for the Cowboys. And you know what? It's only a moral victory when you don't think you can go out there and win. And obviously the way they played, they thought they should have won, and they should have won. To me, they left, and I wrote it in my column, I could count 15 points they left on the field. And it's almost like they beat themselves. You're first and goal at the 8. You can't come away with a field goal.
Yep.
You have a 31-yard field goal. You can't miss. I'm sorry. And you can't miss an extra point. They just left so many points on the field. I'll guarantee you when they go back and look at this thing, they're going to be sick to their stomach that they could have gone in there in that atmosphere and beaten the defending world champs. And I'll guarantee you, and I know Bruce Arians was against all this celebration stuff, and he was trying to preach to his team, this ain't last year's team. This is a new year, a new team. We ain't done nothing yet, right? And they almost got it right between their eyes.
Well, I know what you're talking about as far as leaving stuff on the field, Spags, because when Dak was rolling right, Cedric Wilson was came open a bit late, and you could tell that Dak's vision was a little, it was compromised by two Tampa Bay defenders. One of them was covering someone, and like I said, it came open late. That's when he threw the ball out to Zeke. I think Zeke got down to the 2-yard line or something like that. If he would have either made his mind and got it to Zeke sooner or waited a bit longer, he could have gotten it to Cedric Wilson in the end zone. Either one of those, I think, could have been a touchdown. That was a key miss.
Yeah, actually, after the game, when he did his interview, he said that he got the ball to Zeke too late.
Yeah.
He said, by the time I decided that's where I was going, He goes, it was too late.
That
I ran
almost
him
looked
right
like
out of
that Aaron
bounds.
Rodgers play last year. It almost looked like the Aaron Rodgers play last year. Do I take off and run? Should I have gotten it to him sooner? And then all of a sudden he's in no man's land.
I mean, you can go through this game and not just the things I mentioned that, kind of had to do with scoring, but I can give you 5 plays that any one of them would have caused the Cowboys to win if it had turned out differently. It was that close, offense and defense. Mm-hmm. But again, we talked about the defense. Looks like it was going to be better. They got absolutely no pressure on Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. And I know Antonio Brown beat Anthony Brown on the 47-yard touchdown, but he had all day to throw the ball. All day. Bill, we talked about it when we did that segment with you out on the Bay River. He sat. How many times did he pat the ball before he threw it? You laughed when I said that, but
no.
That's what happened on that play.
Here's the thing about that play, and this is why you need to know what's going on and what the tendencies are of Tom Brady. I heard Chris Collinsworth say it last year. Anytime Tom Brady gets on the other side of the 50-yard line, he's going to go deep. He did it in the first half,
Thanks for the camera.
And it works with Brown. And in the second half, he tried it, and all of a sudden, Brown was ready for it in the second half. When they get on the other side of the 50-yard line, you give them a first down, a second is short. Brady is going for the end zone. That is the tail on him that goes all the way back to when he was a young man. When you get on the other side of the 50-yard line, we're going deep. And we're not doing it with the slot guy. We're going to do it on the outside. That I know, and I don't even play ball anymore. Chris Collinsworth knows it. He doesn't play ball anymore. These are the kind of things that you got to be in tune all the time.
And you know why he does it? Because you've now moved into 4-down territory.
And
so he looks at it as an extra play.
And he might get a PI. Mm-hmm. So you really there's really no downside to that. Mm-hmm. And that's been his strategy his entire career. I just know that Quinn told the secondary that was going to happen. Because if Chris Collinsworth knows it, and if I know it, I know the coaches know it.
Yeah, but then it gave new meaning to the Statue of Liberty play. He stood there like the Statue of Liberty, no one around him, and had all day to throw the ball, right? So for me, the defense, we talked about it looked like this, it looked like that, it was improving, but they still gave up 30 points. Yep. They gave up 30 points.
Well, now, Spags, what you expect, man? This is Tampa Bay. You think they was going to come in and handle Tom Brady like that?
No, how about giving up 28 points?
Well, they did give up 28 points, and then there was a push-off, Mickey. Was that a push-off?
I think it was a pretty good shove. I think it was
even the referee said it was a push-off. He called it an offense.
I heard the analyst say
Easy call.
So look, 124. You know what? When they kicked that field goal and I saw 124, I said, "Oh no!"
Everybody did, Spags.
Lifetime.
Everybody did for a field goal.
Okay, Mickey.
Sure
Mickey, let me ask you this now, because this is what's being talked about on Sports Talk Radio as you turn on your car radio and you leave the airport. All right, 4th and 6 with 1:24 left. 4th and 6 at the 30. Do you go for it and not kick the 48-yard field goal, knowing that Tom Brady's on the other sideline?
No, my thinking was you don't kick the field goal because I don't trust the kicker.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, we have to get it. We have to get it.
So if you were making the call, you would have gone for it, not because it's Brady on the other sideline, but because you don't trust that the kicker's going to make the field goal.
And I think when he got to that 4th and 6, I think you had to go ahead and kick the field goal and just hope your defense can hang in. But I don't know that I was being so facetious saying, I ain't trusting this guy, especially after his performance.
Well, you know what? I had a feeling he would come through those Spags.
I was always worried about that in preseason, when he's not kicking in training camp, and it's like, oh, he'll turn it on. He only needs a couple weeks to be ready. And then he shanks a 31-yarder.
An extra point. Come on, man.
And then the extra point off the upright. Jesus.
I think he'll be okay, though, Spags. I think he'll be okay. I think he got the jitters out of the way. I think Zerline's going to be just fine. That 48-yarder, that was huge in his eyes now.
No, it was.
That was
it
huge
was. And
for
maybe
him.
He gained his confidence back again.
Yeah.
So the big thing is he okay physically? I mean, was the reason for the inconsistency because he has a lingering issue there, and was it by design they were kicking off to the goal line?
I think my understanding that they were trying to kick short because the one time they did it, they stopped them at the 20, right?
Right.
Okay, it's 5 yards, and then got greedy, and then they're not covering it, and the Mickens made them look like a bunch of.
That's crazy. Yeah, if we'll get into this next week, this week, but next week. But our special teams, we'll definitely have to give them a flunking grade.
Oh, no, absolutely. The tackling wasn't good.
Nope.
And it set up some easy scores for them, too.
It really
because
did.
Of that.
It really did.
And then what Tampa Bay was able to do with their punter, pinning the Cowboys down in their own end of the field several times, and then making the field goal.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Mickey.
That guy didn't miss his 36-yarder, did he?
That's right. Mick, and I believe he made all his extra point attempts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was only drama on our kicking side.
So, you know what? And I was thinking, and I got to go back and look at it. I was thinking when I was flying, had they made the extra point, at some point they would have had an opportunity to go for two, maybe, right?
Yes.
And you wouldn't have been 2 points. You wouldn't have been 2 points behind or 2 points ahead. Or 1 point ahead.
Now you want to chase points. Now you want to chase points. All right,
think that late, I'm chasing.
So it was let's see. It was 14-13. Then a field goal. Cowboys took the lead at 16-14 late in the second quarter. Tampa Bay, of course, came right back and took the lead right back 38 seconds later. It's 21-16.
4 plays
at the half. Yeah. Make it 2 plays.
God.
Okay, and so then a field goal to start the third quarter. It's 21-19. That was the aforementioned first and goal at the 8 possession. And next possession, let's see, an interception. Then the Tampa Bay made it 28-19. So your opportunity... Well, you scored a touchdown in your next possession, and that made it 28-26. So the chart would not tell you to go for 2 at that point to make it 28-27. Obviously, because if you don't get it, you're only down. I mean, you're down 3 instead of 2.
It's not worth the risk.
Right,
not worth the risk.
No, mathematically, it doesn't make sense then. Well, Mickey, you got your bag.
I do. I'm getting in the car right now.
He's getting in the car. He's getting in the car right now.
But it sounds like Mickey got to his car a lot quicker than I did this morning. Mickey, it took me an hour and a half after the plane landed. We waited a half hour for the gate to open for us. We were early, of course. And then I came in at a different terminal than where my truck was. It took an hour and a half for me to just get to my truck after we landed.
Well, see, you get benefits when you show up at 2 o'clock instead of that early in the morning.
All right. Well, we'll have plenty to talk about come Monday because it's a great Sunday coming up.
What time Monday? 1:30?
Yeah.
We're going 1:30.
1:30 every day.
Every day.
Every day.
From here on out.
Every day.
Okay, until further notice. All right. Mickey, who's Mizzou playing?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. It's a big nice SEC battle. All right. And you don't know who Grambling's playing, right?
Grambling? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know we won.
Yeah, that's right.
I know
beat
we're
Tennessee
1-0.
State. 1-0.
We beat Too Tall Jones' team. That's all I know.
That's right.
I got bragging rights at the next golf tournament I see him at.
All right. And so that does it for Mick Shots, and we will see you again Monday at 1:30.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!